to get through the interview, I asked my sister to come and help push him around the campus while I did my interview. And I fed him on both sides so that I could fit into my dress. And I didn't let down in the interview.
What happened when you applied for your PhD? What else was going on? Were there challenges, Sarah, in your world?
Okay, yeah, there were a few. So I had already realised that I wanted to do a PhD while I was doing my Masters. So I was already 24 weeks pregnant with my second child when I took my Masters draft dissertation to a professor at the University of Surrey and pitched my dissertation, as was at the time, to her to say, do you think this is, am I working at the right level? You know, do you think I could do a PhD? And she was very complimentary. I think she was a little bit shocked at why this obviously pregnant lady was walking into her office with a master's dissertation. But she was very complimentary and she gave me a good couple of tips. And I had looked back through the times when they had advertised for PhDs, and it always seemed to be in the spring. So I was due to give birth to my second child in the end of September, and I thought that would give me enough time and then I would apply for my PhD in the spring, and then he would be sort of a year by the time I'd started. That didn't pan out. That did not pan out. So the adverts actually came out when he was 4 weeks old, and I wrote and applied. So I applied for my PhD when Harry was 6 weeks old, and I had really bad mastitis. So I sorted out my mastitis, I fed my baby, I put Frozen on for my bigger child, who was 4 at the time, and I wrote my proposal for my PhD and sent it off and got an interview, which was great. But the interview was for when he was 10 weeks old. So to get through the interview, I asked my sister to come and help push him around the campus while I did my interview. And I fed him on both sides so that I could fit into my dress. And I didn't let down in the interview. It was good, it was fine. But it was, yes, I did it. And I had to start when he was 6 months old. I mean, yeah, it was tough, but I mean, when is it not?
Was that the biggest challenge?
No.
Or did more stuff then come?
Well,
what happens?
But when you do something like get a PhD, you start with something like a PhD, but it's like anything, it doesn't matter, it's a PhD, but it could have been a master's, it could have been a degree, it could have been anything. It didn't matter. It was just something that was new to me and something that I was being challenged by. So it wasn't that it was a PhD that made it any harder, it was new. And getting these things and starting these things, especially with young children, is one thing, it's doing it is another. So I think the hardest thing for me was actually doing the work on the amount of sleep that I had. So sometimes Harry would only sleep for 2 hours at a time. And sometimes I would turn up and I'd only have 4 hours sleep, and that wasn't all in one go. But I knew it was a transient period. I knew this wasn't going to last forever. I knew he wouldn't not sleep. He was going to sleep at some point, and he did. Not for a while, but he did. And I knew that these challenges come and go. So the PhD wasn't awful all the way through. Yeah, there were times that it was really hard, but that's the same as when you do like an undergraduate, when you come and do midwifery. There's times when it's really hard. And you get through it and you take support and you talk about it, but at the end of the day it's hard graft, and it's all hard graft, and you just keep going.